Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How's life? How's your day? How's your week been? How are you? Today, we're gonna be talking about just sometimes the annoyance that comes from having to deal with fellow human beings. I think sometimes we are forced to pretend that every human interaction we have is pleasant, and that's not the case. There are a lot of people in this world that lack social cues, that lack social etiquette, that lack common sense, and just a general sense of consideration for the next person. And I think when you're a person who is deliberate about being a safe space, a comfortable space for other people to exist around and with you, it can be pretty off-putting to have to deal with people who just care about their individual space, and sometimes they don't even care about their own space, right? And so the question is, why? Is it a lack of awareness? Is it just not caring? And if that's the case, how do we navigate such spaces? I guess the most common thing would say just be you, continue being courteous, continue being, kind and considerate. But the truth is, at some point, you get fatigued, you get tired of dealing with subpar human interactions. And it may sound harsh, but it's really true. There are some people who just can't be bothered to care about the next person. And the more we progress and say that we are, a modern society, it seems the less social etiquette people are awarding to others. And I don't know what the way forward is, but it really is good to be considerate about the next person. It really is good to be kind. It's good to be, cautious and just aware that we are all just trying to live a fruitful life, live a comfortable, happy life. And a lot of the people in this generation aren't happy, aren't comfortable, have come from, households where they weren't allowed to be themselves, weren't allowed to hold space, weren't allowed to exist, and you come into the world and you've got entitled people, you've got, domineering people. It's a lot, and I can see why people are really drawing into themselves more and more in our generation. It's just hard to deal with people. People can really be annoying. People can be extremely annoying and inhuman and insensitive. I look at some of the ways people behave, like around certain celebrities and certain socialites. Yeah, that is their chosen profession, but they're still human. You go to a doctor, you can't do basic, hygiene. I mean, if you're very sick, that's a different situation. But you're going for like cosmetic, you know, procedures. You're going for a waxing. You're going for, maybe a dental checkup. Why not consider the person? You're going into a bank. You're going into a school. You've got everything that is not societally acceptable for those environments. That doesn't mean you can't express yourself, and that doesn't mean you're not free to be who you are, but just that general respect for particular places and particular spaces, it's really lacking, and sometimes it is really annoying. Not all rules are meant to be broken. Some are meant to be adjusted as times go. Some were harmful, but not all are worth just throwing out the window. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, and just say, let's be amongst the people who actually are considerate about the next person. It makes life a whole lot easier. And sometimes that generosity can really make somebody feel seen, heard, loved, valued, and appreciated as a person. So yeah, see you next time.